Okay, hey guys, what's up? I am here with a very special guest, Ira Nayman, book writer extraordinaire of the alternate reality news service and many other books similar to that.
Okay.
And I have 10 questions that I want to ask you that
Okay.
I would love him to deliver to you guys. Yes. So, question 1. What is the first book you've written?
Ooh, that was a long time ago. You're probably thinking you're probably asking what was the first book that I had published.
Yes.
It's a book called Alternate Reality Ain't What It Used to Be. What it is there's this organization, as you mentioned, called the Alternate Reality News Service. What they basically do is they send reporters into other universes, and then they come back and write news articles about what they find there. It's been called by some readers a science fiction version of The Onion, if you're familiar with that. That was the first. There are now 6 books in that series, and I'm currently working on number 7.
All right. Have you ever got interviewed in any other YouTube videos where you get interviewed for your books?
As opposed to
To
getting interviewed for my good looks?
Well,
because that's most often what I get interviewed for, right? They wanted me to be the Dos Equis most interesting man in the world, but my agent said no shortly before I fired him. Yeah.
But do you know what? To tell you guys, let's make him that what he said. The most interesting.
Okay, that's going to be tough because I don't drink alcohol. So if I was actually in an advertisement for an alcoholic beverage, people might suspect that I was doing it for the money and being less sincere about it. But hey, look, if people want to do like an internet campaign to make me a spokesperson as the most interesting man in the world, I would at least say hello.
Oh, yes.
So to answer your actual question, yes, I get interviewed. I've been interviewed a number of times on the interwebs, and if people do a search on my name, they'll find all sorts of stuff that I've done. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Number 3. What is your favorite book that you've ever written and read? Maybe that's
okay. That's
similar.
2 questions. So yeah. What's the favorite book that I've written?
Yes.
And what's the favorite book that I've read?
Yes.
Okay. So, asking what the favorite thing you've written is kind of like asking a mother which is her favorite child. And we know that women tend to have favorite children, but if they don't want to traumatize their children for life, they tend not to answer that question or answer it in a very diplomatic manner. So what I'm going to say is, and this is a cop-out that I've heard other writers use, my favorite work is always the one I'm working on now. So it's my 4th novel, which is something separate from the Alternate Reality News Service. And it's kind of in the same vein, but it's a time travel novel. So that's my favorite of what I'm working on now. My favorite book, it varies from time to time. I have a couple of favorite authors. One is Thomas Pynchon, who is a unique guy, and if I had to admit where I get some of my moves from, it would definitely be him. Right now, I'm loving the culture novels by Ian M. Banks. I've also I get compared a lot to Douglas Adams, and of course, I'm a big fan not only of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy books, but of the Dirk Gently books as well. So there you go. Those are three for the price of one question.
All right, number 4. And I'm gonna add my input here a little bit. I understand you've been to other countries, but what are like the names of those other countries that you've been to promote your books?
Okay. Well, just for people who don't know, we're Canadian. I'm a Canadian writer. I've been to the States because we live relatively close to the border, and um, some areas of the United States are easy enough to get to. I was at the Worldcon a couple of years ago in England, and the year before that I was also at EasterCon in England because the publisher of my novels is British, Elsewhen Press. If you get a chance, if you're interested in science fiction at all, or speculative fiction broadly defined, check out the Elsewhen Press website because they've got a lot of really, really great books. Okay.
Number 5. This is halfway, guys. This is halfway because we have 10 questions. What conventions do you like try to sell your books at? If you don't sell books, or if you do.
Let's assume for the sake of argument that I do sell books. What the hell? It could happen. You never know. Again, we live in Toronto, so I tend to go to the Toronto cons. I'm hoping to have a table at Fan Expo in September, at Astra in March, is it? January, February, March, April. And I'll probably appear at SF Ontario, but I won't have a table there. I also try to get out to some cons outside of the city. This year I'll probably be at CanCon, which is in Ottawa. And I've been across the country. I've been to cons in the West. I've been to VCon in Vancouver. And actually, one of the first cons I went to, and one of the cons I got the best reception at, it's really awesome. And I hope to be able to afford to go back there next day sometime in the future, is Sci-Fi on the Rock, which was in Newfoundland. Great time, great people. So there. So we're going to take a break here and come back with more. Okay, can I do the jazz hands then? Oh, no. Ah, okay.